Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are back on Back 4 Blood, baby. It has been a minute. It has been a minute indeed since we made a Back 4 Blood video, and I am very glad that we are back on this game yet again. If you guys are wondering why I have this, it's just because I have leftover footage from the alpha, which I'm very much looking forward to now the beta, because the alpha was a really good success in my opinion. But I wanted to make a video on Back 4 Blood to address something that I didn't think of until literally just recently. I was scrolling around on the internet, as you do, and I was trying to look for topics to talk about for Back 4 Blood, and I eventually ended up getting onto a Reddit post, and this one comment, or reply rather, got me really interested and almost a little bit concerned, but more rather intrigued. Let me basically explain. So, with Back 4 Blood, we all know that this is basically the spiritual successor to the Left 4 Dead series, and made by Turtle Rock Studios, the guys that originally made the concept of Left 4 Dead before Valve got the rights. Now, the alpha, in my opinion, was a really, really good success. It was extremely good. I enjoyed playing it. There was only a few issues, but the issues I feel like can be fixed. But the main topic that I want to talk about in today's video is not even necessarily wrong with the game. It's not like it's an issue. It's just that I think that this would be a cherry on top to the game and also prevent a possible issue that could happen on later down the line. So let me explain, because you guys are probably really eager to hear what I want to say now. So basically, long story short, I think that Back 4 Blood is going to need mods in the long run. Why do I say this? Well, because in my humble opinion, mods make games fun. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be full-on, like, mods, as in, like, PC mods. It can be just little things. So, for example, let's take something like, let's say, Left 4 Dead, because, you know, that would actually be the best example because it's the most similar. And Left 4 Dead, the base game is very good. I love myself some Left 4 Dead. I enjoy going for the achievements. I enjoy playing the maps. I enjoy playing versus mode, survival mode, scavenge mode, mutations mode, all that wonderful stuff. But one of the things that has really, really, truly brought my interest back into the Left 4 Dead series is when I finally moved over to PC because I could get mods. And the mods on Left 4 Dead are amazing. You just go to the Steam Workshop and you can essentially get whatever you want, and you're basically making the game have DLC for you. You can get character skins, you can have gun skins, you can have sound effects, you can have custom full-on maps, you can have pretty much whatever you want being at your disposal 24/7, because the community is making mods for this game constantly, even several years later. That's why it's still one of the best games that you can get on Steam to this day, is because there's essentially unlimited content on the game ready at the disposal whenever you wish. And that's one of the things that I want to have for Back 4 Blood, because just like Left 4 Dead 2, Back 4 Blood is an amazing game. However, though, it can be better. It's just like that Wonder Woman movie. It's just being like, it's good, but it can be better. But long story short, yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to get at. I think that we need mods. In fact, I really want to have mods, even on console. Now, I understand that console is not a PC, but the Xbox Series X and the PS5, I wouldn't say necessarily the Xbox One, the PS4, because I know there's going to be a copy for those games. I hope that those don't necessarily hold the game back. But I want to see as much customizability as we possibly can get for the hardware that we have. Because here's the thing, right? If we have mods, this game is going to be so much better. I would love it if I can make Holly look like Zoe from Left 4 Dead. I would love it if I could end up having it where the Special Infected in this game look like the Left 4 Dead Special Infected. Or even new stuff. You don't even necessarily have to make it a Left 4 Dead copy and paste. Let's throw in some new stuff. I would love it if the deck of cards system did something stupid or stupidly outlandish where it was like Pokemon cards. Or you could even do something really, really fun, which I personally think would be the best, is just being able to make whatever you want in terms of the fact of the map. Because here's the thing, is that maps are always one of the best parts about the game, other than characters and guns. And I feel like that as long as the characters and the guns are good from launch, there won't be necessarily a absolute need for mods for these things. But I would definitely love to have new full-on maps. I would love to be able to play Back 4 Blood, and if I'm getting sick of the default maps, I can just play a whole new campaign, because that basically essentially is a brand new campaign. Imagine if you played something like, let's say Cyberpunk, right? something that is really, really buggy right now, and you wish that you could almost make the game for you. Well, you can do that with mods, if you at least have the PC version, that is. And yes, even though it's complicated, just imagine that the game's not buggy right now. Basically, Cyberpunk, a way around the fact that you don't necessarily have the content you want, you make the content, or you look for the content through other means. And that re-sparks the game again for you. And I would say that sometimes the community knows better what the best course of action is for the game, rather than the devs sometimes. Not to poo-poo the devs quite yet, I'm not trying to say that. But generally speaking, since we as a community play the game more than the devs because they have lives, plus also at the same time not only do they have lives, but they're not on their own game 24/7 like we necessarily are. And we know what works for the game sometimes better than some devs do. I've had this with Call of Duty devs, Halo devs, GTA devs, every dev that you can think of. Now, I'm not trying to sound arrogant like I'm saying, but I'm just proving a point is that we know what the game could use if we played it long enough, you know what I mean? And here's the thing about getting back to that Reddit post that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is that one of the comments on that Reddit forum about comparing Back 4 Blood to Left 4 Dead is that one of the guys' comments says, I can't wait for when Left 4 Dead is able to end up basically copying and pasting Back 4 Blood in the form of mods. It wasn't those exact words, but that's basically the summary, and that actually got me very intrigued, because I didn't think about it, and I even done my own video on this, where I made essentially Back 4 Blood through Left 4 Dead mods. I got onto Left 4 Dead 2 after the alpha closed, and I downloaded mods that replicated some features of the game. It would be gun skins, gun sounds, the player icons making it look like the Back 4 Blood crew. I even ended up having it where I had, like, essentially, I'll probably say, like, a good majority of my mods being, like, Back 4 Blood direct clones. Not even necessarily inspiration, but just full-on clones. And that makes me wonder, what happens when we get to the point eventually where modders get good enough when the game's been out for a while, like when the game full-on releases, or even sooner? What happens if the game just ends up getting to the point where you can copy and paste everything, and then you don't even need the game anymore, you just play it on Left 4 Dead 2? I mean, you could do that. You can essentially do that. And I mean, hell, a good example, even though it's a different game series, you can recreate a game from the ground up. I'm doing that with the Call of Duty series with my most recent set of videos, where I'm playing Plutonium for Black Ops 2 and IW4X for Modern Warfare 2. And what those are is built from the ground up community-made copies of those games. And they're essentially identical. Like, Infinity Ward and Treyarch didn't make those games, and they're literally almost full-on copies, plus with some additional stuff. So that's what I'm thinking to myself, is what happens if Back 4 Blood comes out and everything just gets copied and poured to Left 4 Dead 2 because of mods? I'm not upset about that. I would love to be able to have Back 4 Blood mods on Left 4 Dead 2 because I already did it. It would make it fun. But what happens if it gets to the point where it's just full-on copies, though? Like, sure, it wouldn't be an exact replica. I don't think you could port over the card system. I don't think you could port over the way that the game fundamentally works with the different HP bars and the different gun functions with how much damage one does. I don't think you could add in the attachments. But you could definitely do things like bring over the exact guns on their base model. You could definitely port over the map. Like, I wouldn't doubt that in my mind. And I could definitely see you being able to recreate the character skins and the voice lines, making the Left 4 Dead crew the Back 4 Blood crew. I can see that. I can full-on see that. And the thing is, though, is that how much of that is fair to the devs? Because here's the thing. I would like to believe that Turtle Rock and Valve are on good standing with each other, because otherwise we would probably have Lawsuit Oblivion, because everyone sues each other if they have a disagreement for some reason nowadays in this century. And I feel like that the game wouldn't be on Steam. I feel like the game also wouldn't be coming out in general if Valve had it out for Turtle Rock, because they ended up having it where they didn't necessarily have it work out in the beginning, back when Left 4 Dead was kind of getting first released. Okay, fine, it's been a few years. In fact, it's been a decade, basically, so why not let bygones be bygones, right? And I would like to believe that's the case. But what happens with, not even necessarily Valve's fault, what happens if just the community makes basically a carbon copy or a plagiaristic version of Back 4 Blood in Left 4 Dead? Would Valve have to step in and fix this? Would Valve even bother to step in and fix this? Would Turtle Rock get pissed and be upset about this, or would they embrace it? What would end up being the causation of this action? Would this be a good thing? Would this be a bad thing? I personally don't know, because I don't know where it could escalate. it really, in my humble opinion, is going to come down to how much they can copy. Because like I said, I don't think you can do everything in Back 4 Blood that you can do in Left 4 Dead 2. But you can get pretty damn close. And a lot of people wouldn't be opposed to a good enough. You know, like for example, let's say that you're struggling on money and you can't afford to buy a $70 game right now. You can't afford to get Back 4 Blood. But you still have your copy of Left 4 Dead 2 on your PC. And mods are free. So what you do to rationalize your spending habits, you download Back 4 Blood mods in Left 4 Dead 2 so you can get that equivalent throughout there. You do a compromise. And that's the thing where you're starting to get into sketchy territory about copyright and plagiarism, is this going to be too much for Valve and Turtle Rock to negotiate? Or is one of them going to end up pulling the trigger and be like, yeah, this is too much, we need to work something out? And I feel like an even playing field, if Back 4 Blood could have mods, is the appropriate thing to do. Because here's the thing, is that if Back 4 Blood can have mods to implement Left 4 Dead content, that would, I feel like, be honestly the best type of compromise you could do. Because here's the thing, is that it needs to be fair game. If Left 4 Dead, through the sake of mods, even if it's Valve's fault directly or not, if Back 4 Blood is basically going to be plagiarized through mods, then they need to be able to end up at least taking inspiration or be able to having it be an even playing field. Back 4 Blood needs to have modding capability so that way it can not only live longer, it also needs to be able to be on a fair playing field with Left 4 Dead. Because here's the thing, is that if it gets to the point where Back 4 Blood is like, let's say, getting boring, or if it's getting stale, or if it's getting annoying because they add a change that none of us like, we're just eventually just going to stop playing the game. I've seen it happen. People have either quit the game because it's not the way they want, or they bitch and they moan all the time until it is fixed. And I don't want that for the game. I want the game to be happy, healthy, and last for a very long time. And I feel like that having the game be vanilla will only get so far. But if it has mods, mods make the game endless. If you are constantly able to make content for yourself, or at least seek it out when the devs don't want to do it anymore, then you have a game that lasts forever. You have so much replay value if you can make your own content. What I really would love it if people would be able to do more creative things like modders do. I miss that childhood creativity that some people had, and some people lose it, unfortunately, as they become an adult. I love the capability of what modders can do. I love the fact that we can recreate games from scratch and make them perfect. I love the fact that we can end up making content on our own when the devs don't want to or sometimes can't. I enjoy that, really, and that's one of my favorite things about having a PC lately, is just the sheer amount of creativity that can go into this. So I want to ask you guys something. What do you think about this theory, or this kind of conversation that we're having here? Are you worried about the possibility of modders making Left 4 Dead 2 a playing ground to be able to essentially have a cheap version of Back 4 Blood? Are you worried that this is going to get something that's going to be out of hand, or if this is going to be something minuscule and I'm kind of blowing it out of proportion? Because for me personally, I don't necessarily think it's too far-fetched. It wouldn't surprise me. You can make pretty much whatever you want in Left 4 Dead. I've seen full-on remakes of games. You know, you have the ability to do a lot with mods, and I feel like that the best way you can make the game fun, not only fun, but also on an even playing field, is just give us the capability of mods as well. If we're on an even playing field and we can do the same things of each other, then you don't have a monopoly, and you don't have to worry about people picking sides between the Back 4 Blood team and the Left 4 Dead team. Because I want Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood to be intertwined rather than apart. So yeah, that's basically, in summary, guys, what my video is going to be here for today. Just once again, in the comment section down below, let me know how you feel. And I hope you guys ended up enjoying seeing Back 4 Blood once again on the channel. If you guys ended up enjoying today's video and you do want to see more Left 4 Dead / Back 4 Blood, definitely show your support by dropping a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed another YouTube video from the most unique YouTuber you were ever going to see. Peace out, guys.